Alright, so we are doing the independent paper 2019, question 22, worth full marks. In the question, it says students carried out an experiment measuring the velocity of a 100-gram object in uniform circular motion for 6 different radius magnitudes, keeping the centripetal force constant. So here we have a set of data, the radius of the turn and the velocity. Their challenge was to use all the results to determine the constant centripetal force. So what we're trying to find here is we're going to work out a way using those two data points to find the centripetal force. So the question says list and explain the steps. So you know for sure if it says steps, you have multiple steps that you need to go through. So multiple steps. And because we are listing it out, firstly, it wants you to identify the step and then you provide a justification. Okay, all to lead us to calculate the centripetal force. So we're not required to do any working out, but we do need to show how we came up with the logic. So let's start with the very first step. I'm going to leave the data up there. So step number 1, okay, just to give you a bit of background, the formula for centripetal force is Fc mv squared over r. Okay, so what we know is we need to try and plot this on a graph. Plot this on a graph where we can isolate v squared and r. So I'm going to have v squared here and r below here. Why? Because this is our rise, so that's on our y-axis, and this is the run, so all on the x-axis there. So number 1, and also make sure it's in the correct units. So plot v squared versus r, where v squared is on the y-axis and r is on the x-axis. So that we have there already, okay? The other thing is ensure that radius is converted to the appropriate SI units. In this case, having it in meters. Okay. When finished with our plot, we need to find the gradient value. So derive a value for the gradient. This gradient value will be equal to, so the gradient value equal to v squared over r, which is also equal to the centripetal acceleration. Okay. What we also know is number 4, given that our mass is equal to 0.1 kilograms, okay, so Fc is equal to 0.1 times our gradient value. gradient value, which means it's the mass times v squared over r. And so that's how we explain how we could find the centripetal force. Therefore, you can find centripetal force using these steps. And that's how you do it.